What if survival was never about having the right things, but keeping them in balance? Think about it. Right now, your stomach holds hydrochloric acid powerful enough to burn through solid flesh, yet it's carefully contained. Your blood carries iron, a heavy metal that becomes toxic in excess. You breathe oxygen to survive, but too much of it slowly damages your cells. Even sodium and potassium, tiny particles controlling your heartbeat, can stop it entirely if they fall out of balance. And within you are trace amounts of arsenic, a poison that could kill you in higher doses. Every second, your body walks a razor-thin line, where the difference between life and death isn't what's inside you, but how perfectly it's controlled. But here's where it gets strange. If your physical survival depends entirely on balance, why do we spend our entire lives trying to tip the scales? We are obsessed with extremes. We want more money, more success, more happiness, more time. We push ourselves to the absolute limit, glorifying the grind, burning the candle at both ends, and wearing our exhaustion like a badge of honor. We chase the highest highs, terrified of the quiet moments in between. And yet, this relentless pursuit leaves us feeling hollow. You've felt it, haven't you? That creeping sense of burnout, the quiet fear that no matter how much you achieve, it will never be enough. The confusion of doing everything right, but still feeling entirely wrong. We are a generation running on empty, terrified of stopping because we don't know who we are without the momentum. We treat our lives like a pendulum, swinging wildly from extreme productivity to total collapse. But what if that's exactly why everything feels so heavy? What if the pain, the anxiety, the constant feeling of being overwhelmed isn't a sign that you need to do more, but a warning that you've lost your center? What if balance is the only thing keeping you alive, not just biologically, but existentially? Scientifically, the universe itself is governed by this principle. It's called homeostasis, the tendency toward a relatively stable equilibrium. If the Earth were just a little closer to the sun, we would burn. A little further, and we would freeze. The cosmos doesn't favor extremes. It favors harmony. Philosophically, the ancient Greeks called it the golden mean, the desirable middle between two extremes, one of excess and the other of deficiency. Courage, for example, is the balance between recklessness and cowardice. Psychologically, we see this in our own minds. Too much isolation breeds depression, but too much social stimulation leads to severe anxiety. Too much ambition turns into greed, but too little turns into apathy. We are constantly told to go all in, to give 110%, to never settle. But what if the secret to a meaningful life isn't found at the edges of human experience? What if the profound beauty of existence is hidden right in the middle? History is full of people who had to learn this the hard way. Steve Jobs revolutionized technology and became one of the most influential visionaries of our time. He built Apple from a garage into a global empire that transformed how we interact with technology. By all external measures, he had achieved the ultimate success. Yet in his relentless pursuit of perfection and innovation, Jobs was largely absent from his family's life. He wasn't there for his children's childhood moments. His wife was frustrated with his lack of engagement with the family. His young son idolized him, but rarely saw him. Jobs sacrificed the everyday moments, the dinners, the conversations, the simple presence that make a family bond unbreakable. In 2011, as Jobs battled pancreatic cancer in his final days, he experienced a profound reckoning. Confined to a downstairs bedroom, weak and in pain, he finally understood what truly mattered. He collaborated with biographer Walter Isaacson not to document his business achievements, but to explain himself to his children, to help them understand why he was absent and what he was trying to accomplish. Jobs realized that all his technological innovations, all his billions, all his legacy as a visionary meant nothing compared to the simple fact that he wasn't fully present for the people he loved most. His deathbed regret became clear. I wanted my kids to know me. I wasn't always there for them, and I wanted them to know why and to understand what I did. He discovered too late that true success isn't measured in products shipped or companies built. It's measured in relationships nurtured and moments shared. Steve Jobs' story is a haunting reminder that you can achieve everything the world tells you to achieve and still lose what matters most. His greatest innovation, the one that could have changed his life, would have been learning to say no, to set boundaries, and to be present. The balance he never found became the regret he couldn't escape. What about Indra Nooyi, who rose to become the CEO of one of the world's largest beverage and snack companies, PepsiCo? She was a trailblazer, a powerful woman in a male-dominated corporate world, and a symbol of ambition and achievement. She provided financial security for her family and built a remarkable career. But the cost was devastating. Nooyi missed her daughter's school events. She was physically present but emotionally absent. She lived with constant guilt, knowing that while she was building an empire, her daughters were growing up without their mother's full presence. In a candid moment, she admitted, "If you ask our daughters, I'm not sure they will say that I've been a good mom." She described the experience as living with perpetual guilt. You just die with guilt. As Nooyi progressed in her career, she began to recognize the impossible balance she was trying to maintain. She realized that the corporate world's definition of success required sacrificing the relationships that give life meaning. She couldn't have it all, not in the way society promised. The turning point came when she finally acknowledged this truth publicly, refusing to pretend that balance was possible while maintaining her relentless work schedule. After stepping down from PepsiCo, Nooyi developed what she calls her no-regret policy. Work won't remember the late nights you stayed, but your family will remember the moments you missed. She began advocating for a different kind of success, one where family is central, where presence matters more than productivity, where the goal is integration rather than balance. She discovered that true leadership isn't about sacrificing everything for the company. It's about creating a life where work and family can coexist with intention and presence. Indra Nooyi's story shows that even when you achieve the highest levels of professional success, if you lose your children's childhood and your family's trust, you've lost the game. Her wisdom now, shared publicly to help other women avoid her regrets, is that the most important work you'll ever do is at home. The meaningful life she sought wasn't found in the corner office. It was found in finally choosing her family. And take Larry H. Miller, who built a massive business empire from nothing. He became a self-made billionaire, owned the Utah Jazz, and created wealth and security for his family. He worked nearly 90 hours a week, driven by the belief that his relentless work ethic would provide everything his family needed. But while Miller was building his empire, he was missing his children's lives. He missed dinners at home. His wife, Gail, had to raise their 5 children essentially alone. She was a single parent in a marriage. Miller wasn't there for the crucial moments, the school plays, the homework help, the conversations that build relationships. He provided financial security but was emotionally absent. His children grew up with a father who was always working, always building, always striving, but never fully present. Late in life, Miller came to a devastating realization. He reflected on what his work obsession had cost him. I missed dinner at home with my wife and kids. Gail had to do everything. She was a single parent with our 5 children. He recognized that while he was securing their financial future, he was losing their emotional connection. The turning point came when he realized that no amount of money could buy back the time he'd lost. Miller's regret became his wisdom. He began to understand that true wealth isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in relationships. He learned that the greatest gift a parent can give isn't financial security, it's presence. His story became a cautionary tale about the cost of imbalance and a testament to the fact that even billionaires, even those who have it all, can lose what matters most if they don't maintain balance. Larry H. Miller's life demonstrates that success without balance is failure in disguise. You can build an empire and still lose your family. You can provide everything materially and still deprive your children of the one thing they truly need, you. His regret, shared publicly to warn others, is that he would have traded some of his business success for more time with his family. The balance he never found became the greatest loss of his life. These stories aren't just about recovery, they are about revelation. We need to reframe how we look at our lives. Balance isn't boring. It isn't settling. Balance is the ultimate form of mastery. It takes far more strength to hold the center than it does to fall to the extremes. Think about the lessons hidden in your own biology. Your body doesn't hoard oxygen. It takes exactly what it needs and exhales the rest. It doesn't hold on to every nutrient. It processes what is useful and lets go of the excess. Growth doesn't happen when you push yourself until you break. It happens in the recovery. Purpose isn't found in a frantic search for meaning. It is cultivated in the quiet moments of daily intention. Kindness isn't about giving until you are empty. It is about giving from a place of abundance. Resilience isn't about never falling. It is about knowing how to return to your center. You don't need to be everything all at once. You just need to be aligned. If you are watching this and you feel exhausted, if you feel like you are constantly running but never arriving, hear this. You are allowed to stop. You are allowed to step off the pendulum. The world will tell you that you need more money, more status, more perfection. But your own heartbeat, the very rhythm keeping you alive right now, is whispering a different truth. It is telling you that life is a rhythm of tension and release, of holding on and letting go, of doing and simply being. You don't need to burn yourself down to keep the world warm. You don't need to empty yourself to prove you have value. The transformation you are looking for won't be found in the next big achievement or the next extreme push. It will be found the moment you decide to stop fighting the current and learn to float. Your body knows the secret. The universe knows the secret. It's time for you to remember it. Because in the end, life was never about having more or less, but knowing when enough is everything. Thank you for watching. Give us a like and subscribe to us as we bring you more videos every Wednesday to unlock your potential.